Greetings, one and all. How are you doing today? I hope you're well. I wanted to talk about being supportive, how to be supportive, because we all struggle sometimes to understand how we can support someone through something. And for me, this is just my take. This isn't the perfect way of doing things. I'm not claiming to be an expert because I'm not. It's more what I have found to be successful for me in my relationships. And the first thing is to really understand what the person who needs support needs. What's their love language? How have they supported you in the past? When they are looking to comfort someone, how do they do that? Is it gifts? Is it acts of service? Is it intimacy in the form of hugs? I'm not talking about, sexy times. But, do they hold your hand? Do they give you a cuddle? Do they sit next to you? How do they express their support for you? Mimic that back to them. If they're all about intimacy, sit next to them, hold their hand, give them an emotional hug. And I've talked about emotional hugs in the form of positive words, expressing how they make you feel, if that's what they need. But the important thing, and this is my second point, is ask them what they need. Do they need to just vent? Do they want someone to agree with them in that moment? Do they want tough love? Do they want advice? Do they just want comfort? It's about checking in with them. And I do this with my friends, and I have them do this with me. Do you just need to get this off your chest? Do you just want someone to make the right noises right now? Because sometimes we don't want people to fix things. We don't want advice. We just need to let it out and hear ourselves speak. And when we speak, we want to be listened to. This is number 3. Number 3 is listen, don't interrupt. Don't dispute their experience. Don't belittle their experience. What we find upsetting isn't what someone else finds upsetting. So it's about hearing them out from their point of view. Remember, compassion is the whole. It's the whole person, it's the whole situation and everything that's led up to it. And compassion isn't forgiveness. It's understanding. We can be compassionate, we can be empathetic without condoning actions. Now, before I get on to point number 4, if you're enjoying my content, hit subscribe, hit the thumbs up. Now, number 4 is don't compare. So I've touched on this. Don't compare how you would cope with something to how they're coping with something. Again, we are the sum of our experiences. If we've never experienced something before, or we've experienced it in a different way and it's upsetting for us because of our past experiences, that means we deal with it differently when it happens again or something similar happens again. Just because I wouldn't have a problem with a subject, with something happening, doesn't mean you would react the same way. Just because I would get angry at something doesn't mean that you would. You might break down and have a damn good cry. So don't compare. And if you're in a position of needing support, don't compare yourself to someone else and how they have dealt with other situations. We are all different. We all find different things upsetting. Comparing yourself and saying, well, other people have it worse, that may be objectively true. That doesn't mean you're not going through something. That doesn't mean the person you're supporting isn't going through something. And number 5 is check in on them after. So if you support someone today, make a note to check on them tomorrow, check on them the day after. It could be a couple of days, it could be a couple of hours, but check in on them. Grief anger, upset, financial problems, relationship problems don't disappear overnight. I found this when my parents died. People were checking in on me until the funeral. And after the funeral, very few people did. It was only people that were close to my parents that were checking in, because they were also experiencing that grief. People seem to think that a funeral is the end of that situation. It's not really. You only start fully grieving and experiencing the whole thing after the fact. So those, whatever it is that you're supporting someone through doesn't go away just because you had a chat or you spent some time together. So do check in on people, because situations can get worse before they get better. Just let them know that you're there. It makes a big difference. Now, I'm saying all of this assuming that you have the energy, the spoons, the emotional capacity to be able to help someone. It is okay to put yourself first. You're only one person. You only have so much to go around. So make sure, if you're supporting someone through something, that you're looking after yourself as well. But that's my top 5. That's my 5 ways of how to be more supportive and look out for each other. Put a bit of kindness out into the world, because it's the little changes that make a big difference. Thank you so much for being here, and I will speak to you again in the next video.